Dear my friend, if every morning you brush your hair and see more hair falling than the day before, then this video is truly important for you. Because what makes your hair fall every day is not aging, as many people think. It's something extremely small, extremely familiar. And you touch it every morning. Your comb, after 60, just using the wrong type of comb or brushing with the wrong technique can triple the amount of hair you lose, and so many women have no idea. But the good news is, you don't need to change your entire routine. You don't need expensive products. You don't need complicated methods. Just one simple fix, one tiny adjustment is enough to reduce hair fall from the very first day you apply it. And in this video, I'll help you understand why your comb is the silent culprit. And more importantly, how to choose the right comb to protect your hair after 60 inches, a gentle but instantly effective way. I'm Dr. Evelyn Brooks, a dermatologist and gynecologist with over 15 years of experience caring for the hair and skin of women over 50. Throughout the years, I've met so many women entering their 60 seconds, 70 seconds, even 80 seconds, feeling worried because their hair is shedding more and their part is getting wider. What surprises them the most isn't complicated treatments or expensive products. It's the truth that their hair can completely recover just from brushing correctly and using the right comb. I always tell my patients, hair after 60 isn't hopelessly weak. It's just being treated the wrong way. And today, I want to share with you everything I've learned from thousands of cases, small adjustments that can create big changes for women's hair after age 60. You know, hair loss after 60 is something that makes many women feel worried. But the important thing I want you to remember is your hair follicles still have the ability to recover. Your scalp can still regenerate. And your hair can get stronger every single day as long as you remove the right kind of pressure it's currently facing. Women in their 60 seconds, 70 seconds, or 80 seconds do not lose the chance to have fuller and healthier hair. What they need is simply the right understanding and a few small corrected habits. I've seen so many of my patients who once believed hair loss is due to age, nothing can help anymore. Regain softer, smoother, and less brittle hair just weeks after changing their brushing habits. So if today you're feeling sad because you're losing too much hair, please be gentle with yourself. You are not walking this journey alone. And to let me know you're here with me, leave a comment below. How old are you and which state in the U.S. are you watching this video from? Your stories help me better understand you and continue creating videos that support the community of women over 60. When women enter their 60 seconds, their hair doesn't just change in color, it also changes in structure. And these silent changes make the hair more sensitive to the comb you're using every day. First, hair strands become 25–40% thinner than when you were younger. This means even a small pulling force can cause the strand to break mid-shaft or pop out of the follicle. Second, the oil glands on the scalp become less active. When the natural oil layer decreases, hair becomes dry, frizzy, and tangles more easily. And when hair is dry, friction with the comb increases, causing the cuticle, the hair's protective layer, to lift and get damaged. Third, the scalp after 60 becomes thinner and more sensitive, making follicles more vulnerable to pulling force when you brush. When you add all that up, if you're using a comb with dense teeth, hard teeth, or brushing harshly from the roots down, your hair gets tugged repeatedly. This is what we call mechanical stress, a form of pressure that accelerates hair loss without women realizing it. On top of that, plastic combs create static electricity, which opens the cuticle even more, making hair frizzier, drier, and far easier to break. That's why so many women over 60 tell me, Evelyn, I don't use chemicals, I don't perm or dye, yet my hair still falls out. And I have to explain that sometimes the comb, something seemingly harmless, is the biggest culprit. The good news is that in the next part, I will show you the 5 most common mistakes women over 60 make when brushing their hair and how to fix them immediately. One of the most common mistakes women over 60 often make is brushing their hair while it's still wet. It sounds very normal, but with the hair structure after 60, this is truly a nightmare for the follicles. When hair is wet, the cuticle, the outer protective layer of the strand, opens completely, making the hair weak, soft, and extremely prone to breakage. According to the American Academy of Dermatology, wet hair is about 30% weaker than dry hair. This means just one light stroke of the comb can make the strand break instantly. For women over 60, hair is already thinner, drier, and less oily, so brushing when wet creates a very strong pulling force on both the hair shaft and the follicle. The result is hair falling strand by strand, even in small clusters, making the hair thinner over time without you realizing it. I once treated Martha, 72, who always brushed her hair right after showering because she thought her hair was more obedient at that moment. But this habit caused the hair at her temples to thin so much that her scalp became clearly visible. Only when I instructed her to wait until her hair was 80–90% dry before brushing did things improve. 3 weeks later, she told me, "Evelyn, now I finally understand why my hair has been falling for so many years." So what should you do? Very simple. Do not brush your hair while it's still wet. If you need to detangle, use your fingers to gently separate each section. Blow dry on cool air until the hair is 80–90% dry. When the hair is almost dry, use a wide-tooth comb or a wooden comb, brushing from the ends to the mid-lengths, then to the roots. This small change can significantly reduce daily hair fall. Many of my patients say that after just a few days, the amount of hair on their pajamas and pillows decreased noticeably. The second mistake, and also one of the biggest culprits of hair loss, is using combs with dense, hard, or plastic teeth. Dense tooth combs easily get caught in tangles and create strong pulling force on each strand. Plastic combs also create static electricity, opening the cuticle and making the hair frizzier, drier, and more breakable. When the cuticle is open, even a light pull can break the strand immediately. I remember Michelle, 68, who always used a dense plastic comb because she wanted her hair to fall into place quickly. But in return, she lost a lot of hair around her temples and the crown. After switching to a wide-tooth wooden comb, her hair improved significantly within just 3–4 weeks. Something many women don't know is this: hard combs damage hair more than a blow dryer. If using a dryer incorrectly makes hair dry, hard combs directly pull on the follicles, something the body after 60 struggles to repair. The solution: stop using dense tooth or hard plastic combs. Choose wide-tooth combs with rounded tips. Wooden, bamboo, or anti-static combs are the best choices. If your hair is fine, choose wooden combs to reduce friction. Just switching the comb helps many women reduce 40–70% of daily hair fall, an impressive number. The third mistake, so common that almost everyone does it, is brushing hair from the roots down. You may have done this your whole life, but it is actually one of the most damaging techniques for hair after 60. When you place the comb at the scalp and pull straight down, the tangles below block the comb, forcing all the pulling force onto the hair shaft and the follicle. This creates a type of traction, a sudden pulling force which causes the hair to fall in small clusters. Cleveland Clinic considers traction one of the most common causes of mechanical hair loss, especially in older women. I once met Linda, 74, who always wondered why her part was getting wider. Her morning habit was to place the comb at the crown and pull it straight down. Once I corrected her technique, her hair fall decreased noticeably in just 5 days. The solution is very simple and extremely effective. Never brush from the roots down. Always start at the ends, detangle gently. When the ends are smooth, move to the mid-lengths. Only brush the roots after the 2 sections above are completely smooth. This method reduces up to 80% of the pulling force on the follicles. When you apply the correct technique, you will immediately feel less pain, less snagging, and much less hair left on the comb. And if you've listened until here, I truly appreciate it. You can leave a like or a heart so I know these insights are truly helping you. Your support motivates me to create even more videos dedicated to women over 60. In the next part, we will talk about another mistake, one that silently breaks the hair's natural protective layer, and very few women recognize it. The fourth mistake that I see many women over 60 make is trying to brush their hair while it's tangled, without using any light conditioner or detangling spray. Hair after 60 is often dry, porous, and more easily tangled because the natural oil glands are less active. This means each strand doesn't glide smoothly the way it used to, and when the strands wrap around each other, They create very tight friction points. If you put a comb through at this moment, the teeth will get stuck in those tangled spots. Every pull you make to detangle creates strong tension on the hair shaft and especially on the follicle. This is why many women say that every time they brush, they feel scalp pain or hear the hair snag. According to recommendations from the American Academy of Dermatology, when the hair is tangled, you should never use a comb immediately, because doing so will break the hair shaft, damage the cuticle layer, pull and strain the follicles repeatedly, increase daily hair loss without you realizing it. I once met a patient named Sandra, 66, who had the habit of brushing her hair right after waking up, even though her hair was very tangled at that moment. Just 10 days after switching to using a detangling spray before brushing, Sandra told me, "I don't hear that pulling sound anymore, Evelyn. It feels so much lighter." So, what should you do? Very simple. Before brushing, spray 2-3 pumps of light conditioner or detangling spray on the tangled area. If you don't have any products, you can use a few drops of hair oil or argan oil to create natural slip. Then gently separate the big knots with your fingers. When the hair feels softer and more slippery, you can use a wide-tooth comb to brush section by section. Just this small step can significantly reduce the pulling force on your hair and protect your follicles every day. In the next part, we'll talk about mistake number 5. A mistake most people think is unrelated, but is actually a silent culprit that weakens the hair over time. The 5th mistake seems harmless, but it is one of the silent reasons why hair after 60 becomes weaker: brushing your hair too many times a day. Many women think brushing helps their hair look smoother, neater, and more put together. But for hair after 60, every time you run a comb through your hair, you create friction, static electricity, and small pulling forces on the follicles. These small pulls, when repeated many times a day, become a form of accumulated tension, similar to a rubber band being stretched again and again until it loses elasticity. And the significant thing is, the body after 60 doesn't recover as quickly as before. The scalp is drier, less oily, the strands are thinner. Brushing just 5-6 times a day is enough to wear down the cuticle, dry out the hair, and make it break easily. I once treated a lovely patient named Barbara, 70. She had the habit of brushing her hair every time she passed a mirror because she felt her hair was always slightly messy. But that very habit made her gradually lose density around the temples. After I asked her to limit brushing to a maximum of 2 times per day, her hair fall reduced within just 1 week. So what is the ideal number of brushing times for women over 60? Very clearly. Morning. Brush lightly once using the correct technique. Evening. Brush once to distribute natural oils and remove dust. And if hair gets tangled during the day, use your fingers to gently detangle instead of using a comb. Just reducing the number of brushing times will immediately reduce most of the friction that causes daily breakage and shedding. Many women don't believe this until they try it and see the amount of hair in the sink or on the pillow decrease noticeably. Mistake number 5 concludes the things you should not do. And in the next part, I will show you the simple fix, the most important part of the video that helps you brush correctly and restore your hair after 60 inches, a gentle yet effective way. Now, after you've understood the 5 common mistakes that cause daily hair loss, here is the most important part. The simple fix that works immediately. The first and also the easiest is choosing the right comb. For women over 60, a wide-tooth comb or a soft wooden comb is always the safest choice. Wooden combs don't create static, and the teeth are softer, allowing the hair to glide smoothly without tugging. Wide-tooth combs help reduce friction instantly, especially when the hair is slightly tangled or dry. The next step is using the correct brushing technique. This technique can completely change how brushing feels: no more pain, no more pulling, and a noticeable decrease in hair fall. Always start from the ends first. Gently hold a section of hair with your hand, then brush upward from the ends. When the ends are smooth, gradually move to the mid-lengths. And only when the hair is fully detangled should you brush near the roots. This method reduces nearly 80% of the pulling force on the follicles, a huge number for thin and weakened hair after 60. In addition, before brushing, you can use a few drops of light conditioner a detangling spray, or simply apply a very thin layer of oil to the ends. This creates natural slip, helping the comb glide through the hair easily and reducing damage to the cuticle. Another tip many of my patients love is drying the hair 80–90% before brushing. When the hair is slightly dry, the strands are much stronger compared to when they are wet. If you use a blow dryer, choose the cool or low heat setting to avoid stripping moisture from the hair. And finally, I want you to try a quick 2-minute routine every morning. 30 seconds, warming the scalp with gentle rubbing. 60 seconds, brushing from the ends upward using the correct technique. 30 seconds, massaging the roots to stimulate circulation. Just 2 minutes. But it makes a huge difference for hair after 60, strengthening follicles, softening the scalp, and helping the hair fall into place more easily without any expensive products. In the next part, I'll help you understand the positive changes you can feel after just 14 days of applying this method. When you apply the correct brushing technique and use the right comb, your body responds in a very noticeable way. No expensive products needed, no complicated treatments. Just reducing pulling force and friction gives the follicles a chance to breathe and recover. After about 7 days, you will begin to see a clear decrease in the amount of hair you lose when brushing. The strands on your pajamas, on your pillow, or in the sink in the morning will gradually lessen. Your scalp will also feel more comfortable, with less soreness or tightness during brushing. By day 14, the changes become even more obvious. Hair feels softer and glides more easily when you brush. Tangles are significantly reduced. The temples and crown, the areas most prone to thinning, appear less sparse. The scalp feels less irritated, less red, and less burning to the touch. I've seen this repeat itself in hundreds of women over 60. When they stop damaging their follicles every day, the body naturally shifts into recovery mode. And the hair, which once seemed to be weakening, begins to regain vitality from the smallest changes. These results are not magic. They are simply the body's natural mechanism once we give it a chance to repair itself. In the next part, I will share with you a real story, a journey that many women will see themselves in. I want to tell you about Helen, a 6–7-year-old patient I'm very fond of. Helen used to have thick, soft, shiny hair when she was younger, but after turning 60, she began noticing more hair falling out every morning. The strands left on her pillow, on her pajamas, troubled her so much that every time she brushed her hair, she held her breath, afraid to see even more fall out. Helen tried many things: new shampoos, nourishing serums, supplements, but the shedding continued, and she believed she was aging too fast. Until I asked her a very simple question: "What kind of comb are you using?" Helen showed me a thick-tooth plastic comb, the same one she had used for more than 20 years. She had no idea that this comb created strong pulling force every day, gradually weakening her follicles and accelerating her hair loss. I guided her to switch to a wide-tooth wooden comb and practice a new brushing technique, starting from the ends, moving to the mid-lengths, and only then brushing near the roots. Just 4 weeks later, Helen returned to my clinic with a smile I still remember to this day. She said, "Evelyn, I never imagined changing my comb would help this much. Now I brush my hair without hearing that snagging sound anymore, and the hair fall has reduced so clearly." Helen's story is not an exception. It is proof that hair after 60 can still recover, even after many years of unintentional tugging and damage. In the next part, I will help you connect all the knowledge from this video and guide you on how to apply it tonight to see real results. My dear friend, now you understand why hair after 60 becomes more sensitive, and why small habits like choosing the right comb or brushing the right way can make your hair fall more each day. And the most important truth is, everything can be improved. Just 3 simple steps. Switch to a wide-tooth comb or a wooden comb. Brush from the ends upward without pulling. Reduce the number of brushing times and use a little light conditioner when your hair is tangled. If you try this tonight, by tomorrow morning, you may already feel that brushing is lighter, less painful, and within a few days, the amount of hair shedding will noticeably decrease. And if this video is helpful, please press like and leave a small comment so I know you're walking with me on this journey of caring for your hair after 60. My dear friend, Hair loss after 60 is not a sign that your body is giving up. It is simply a gentle reminder that your hair needs to be treated more kindly with the right comb, the right technique, and the right frequency. A woman's body at any age has the ability to heal, as long as we understand it and give it time. And I truly believe that with the small changes you've learned today, your hair will gradually regain the softness, strength, and confidence you deserve. If you want me to create more videos about scalp care, nutrients for healthy hair, or nighttime habits that help reduce shedding, leave a comment. I read every one of your messages and always walk with you on your beauty journey after 60.